Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Good evening and welcome back to Google Ads Unleashed, guys. I hope everyone is having a fabulous week and had a fabulous start to this year. January is almost over. We're in the sprint of the last couple of days. Hopefully you are smashing it. And I want to help you smash it with a fantastic tip today, which, if you haven't done this yet, then actually what are you doing within Google Ads? And that is a script which you need to install on your Google Ads account. So first of all, maybe let's talk a little bit about scripts. What are scripts? Generally speaking, there's quite a lot of things that you can either automate within Google Ads that you don't need to really waste your time on. Or there are certain programs and little JavaScripts which you can set up in the tools and then bulk actions and scripts section of Google Ads. And one of the most helpful ones that actually exists is a PMax script, which has been written and developed by a gentleman called Mike Rhodes. If you haven't heard of Mike Rhodes, you must have been living under a rock. This guy has been around for donkey's years. He is the absolute goat of scripts, and arguably his magnus opus is the PMax script. So generally speaking, one challenge that we have as Google Ads advertisers with PMax is that Google gives us extremely little data about the distribution of ad spend, of conversions, etc. Between the various channels that comprise Google Ads campaigns. That is YouTube, display, discovery, search, and shopping. As a result, we don't actually know what happens when we sometimes maybe increase budgets, decrease budgets, or we don't even know whether we should be running PMax at all because there's no data on how many conversions come from what channel within PMax. And Mike Rhodes solved this, right? He wrote a script that any of you can install. There is one free script, but you can also go to mikerodes.circle.so. This is, by the way, a free plug. Hopefully he hears this. Hopefully he gets tagged. If so you can go there and actually even purchase it, which is a more bougie version of the same script. What does the script do? So how is it installed? Let's maybe start how is it installed. Once you actually have it, it's relatively straightforward. It's a piece of code that you can then head to tools, then you can head to bulk actions and scripts, create a new script. You enter that script in there. It's a very easy piece of code that you just need to insert. And then he also has a template to a Google Doc in there, which you can copy. You can very easily copy that Google Doc. You can then very easily take that URL once it's copied and replace it into the sheet URL, which is in red. And you just have to give the script the authorization to actually run on this Google Ads account and then run it and then actually set a timer on it, a frequency that you maybe want to run it every week, daily, etc., etc. So what does the script do? It actually, and this is its more or less biggest advantage, it gives you a real graphic breakdown of how sort of the distribution between costs and conversions is between the various channels of PMax. And what we, for instance, see in this ad account here, which if you are watching the YouTube version or if you are watching the video here, you can actually see what's going on. You can actually see that quite a lot of cost runs through shopping right now within this PMax here, but very few conversions are actually coming through it, okay? Of course, the shopping campaign is only shopping spend. And the other PMax has a relatively similar picture. So this is actually quite in equilibrium. And this isn't whatsoever. This is looking really bad. Like a lot of conversions are clearly coming via search. So you can actually interpret various different things from this, okay? For instance, one thing that I could instantly interpret from this is clearly if search is taken or has dominated the conversions within this Google Ads account, this usually means that brand was not excluded here. So that's usually the only explanation why there's so little search cost, but so many search conversions. We can see display is doing quite okay. And video is doing extremely strongly for this Google Ads account, right? For him. So this could be, for instance, a takeaway that we should be maybe trying video in this account here. Another thing that we could be sort of taken out of this sort of script is clearly there's a lot of costs going in shopping right now, but the shopping conversions are poor. So this is actually an account from a coaching client. So, and we're taking him through the coaching to actually improve his performance right now. But clearly what's going on here is that we need to improve the product listings, right? Improve maybe the images, maybe the product titles, get reviews on the ads, etc., etc. So this is probably one of the best scripts that you can ever have, just because it gives you really actionable insight in what you can do. And now I'm just going to maybe tell you a couple of things, what you usually see and interpret from the script. So if you see, for instance, very little cost in shopping, but a lot of conversions, usually this means that you need to spend more on shopping. So for instance, you could support then the Google Ads account with a assetless asset group that excludes video, display and search, and puts more budget towards the shopping part of PMax only. And as a result, you can boost the spend in the shopping department and generate more sales. Or you could supplement the entire ad account with an additional shopping campaign. So these would be the two options. If you see a lot of shopping cost and very little conversions, usually that indicates a feed problem. All right. So then you have to work on the feed, you have to work on your offer, you have to work on anything that you will want to be doing within Merchant Center and within your product feed. If you see very little cost on search, but a lot of conversions, that usually indicates that either there's brand coming in to the PMax and you're not excluding brand properly, or it clearly indicates that search could be an interesting campaign type to test in the ad account as well. So this is a massive takeaway. If you see a lot of spend on search and it doesn't convert, you have to get rid of it. You have to drop it, right? You have to either drop the budget of the entire campaign, or again create an assetless asset group and just run shopping and dynamic remarketing. If you don't know how to create an assetless asset group, just head back to one of the previous podcast episodes where I explain how that works. It could also be an indicator that you just have to improve your ads. All right. If you see very little spend on video but a lot of conversions, that could be an indicator that maybe you should try running YouTube ads for your brand. How to run YouTube ads, again, there's another episode on that. Look it up. There's a couple of things that you need to get in place beforehand before doing this, so I would highly recommend that you listen to that one first. If you see a lot of display costs and very few conversions, then usually that means that more or less Google has run out of the higher value placements such as shopping and search in terms of spend. There's just not a lot of search volume, and you have artificially trying to pump the budgets, and the additional budget is then being shoved into lower value placements such as display, which is generally not converting as well. Okay, so these are sort of certain takeaways that you can really take out of the script. Highly encourage every Google Ads expert should know this one and should be implementing this in their campaign. And you should also give the big man Mike Rhodes some credit for actually creating this script. Call to action for the week, guys. If this has been helpful, then please follow me on here on the podcast and subscribe. If you want to speak to me, you can find me on Google, Jeremy Young Google Ads on LinkedIn. You can also send me an email to jeremy@younganddigital.marketing. We're pretty full with the agency right now, but I'm pretty sure I can squeeze you in for a little consultation. If you should need anything, I would love to help. This has been Jeremy Young, your personal Google Ads expert, and I'm wishing you a happy and productive week ahead.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. If you found value in today's podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and a review. For more information or to connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.